But we're not only doing it on the automobile. Everybody has suntan lotion. We're also going to do some things inside the home or around the home. Like carburetor cleaner, like your refrigerator, your dryer, wood surfaces, painted surfaces, glass surfaces, all different surfaces. So stay tuned for all those different things. But the first thing we're going to work on is this. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're doing stickers, sticker residue, things like that. We're going to get it off, get the gunk off, and show you what things work. You can see behind me, I have several different things and several different problems. There's lots of different things out there that you can use. I'm showing you what I use and what I have used and what works. Some of them are just household items like alcohol, or everybody has suntan lotion. That stuff works great. We'll check in on that. That one works really well. A good old razor. Goof Off. Obviously, that's a good one. Carburetor cleaner. Carburetor cleaner. Do it on the right things. Pay attention here. Don't ruin your stuff. Pay attention to what I use it on and what I tell you to use it on here later in the video, and you'll understand what I mean. Oil. Olive oil. Another. That's the same thing as like the suntan lotion. Just use oil or something like that. That normally won't ruin anything. It takes a little more elbow grease and it doesn't get everything off. So you'll find out what that gets it off of and what it doesn't get it off of, but oil works great. Check this out. If you're not particularly interested in looking at things on glass, just fast forward a little bit and I show you wood, plastic, and other types of things like tile or your bathtub or your dryer or your washer, stuff like that. All right, so now that we're in here a little bit closer, there's different problems, right? There's this. Can you see that? This is where, remember, I purchased this vehicle and all of these stickers were on it. That's actually why I'm getting rid of them right now. I'm just getting rid of them because it's now a wood truck and a vehicle for the acreage, right? I get gas in it. I do different things like that, but I don't want these stickers on it. I want them to go away. So this is a peach, Georgia peach, something, but somebody took the decal off but couldn't get the goo off. This looks like a Alien versus Predator. We're gonna get rid of that. And this one, can any of you guys tell me down in the comments what that is? I'm gonna, I'll tell you guys later on in the comments afterwards, but somebody go ahead and check out what this one is and tell me what it is. But my wife told me to take it off, so don't hate me. Anybody who does realize what it is. She's the one that told me that I might as well get rid of them. We're gonna get rid of them all. Heat, some Goof Off, carburetor cleaner, air and intake. I know everybody has this, not everybody, but check your spouse might have this. If you're a dude, you probably have this. Oil. This is just like cheap olive oil. This is a spray. This is a suntan lotion. This stuff works really good. It's oil based, that's why I think. And this is just alcohol, 70 proof alcohol. You can water this down a little bit, but this is 70 proof alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. This is a heat gun. If you need to use a heat gun, you could use a dryer. I have this industrial, like, not industrial, but this like heat gun. But it also works to get the decals off and so on. You're going to see that here in a second. I took the blade out of this to simplify things. Everybody can normally have a razor blade, and you can go first and just start peeling these like this. And you see how easy that just came off. Okay? But don't score this in your glass. You very well can scratch it. You need to make sure you're going at an angle. When we're peeling the decals off with the razor blade, you want to use soap and water mixture just so it has some lubricant, because all this dust and debris and things like that can definitely scratch your window, and you want to give some sort of, you know, lubrication so it slides nice and smooth right while you're taking that off of there. And every one of you in every state can use these tips, or you should be able to, because everybody has to get their registration and their inspection sticker updated every so often. And these things work great for that, so that you don't have that smudge up there every single time. Use one of these products, get it off the proper way so you have a clean finish. It looks nice. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start off with a razor and some water and soap. So we're going to start off with some water and soap mixture, get the decals off, and I'm going to show you that. All right, so the first and easiest method that I know that everybody can pretty much handle is just taking some soap and water and splashing it on, taking a razor blade and scraping nice and smooth and peeling that off. That was really easy. Continue that process right along. And if you just go like this the entire way, you will get the decals off nice and smooth. There is going to be some left there, and we'll show you how to get rid of that. So otherwise you'll just be sitting here picking. All right, so let's move on to this peach over here. This is the regular goo residue, and go and chip away a lot of this goo. You could do that. Alcohol, okay? Isopropyl alcohol. So be really careful if you do use isopropyl alcohol, because it can take the clear coat off of your vehicle if you get it down in here or on the gum line. But just put a little bit on a towel, or I'm just using a piece of an old t-shirt, and you can see with a little bit of elbow grease, it pulls it right off. And we're sanitizing and cleaning at the same time. Apply a little bit more, and look how much of that is gone already. I'm not going to get rid of it all. We're going to try another here. Look at that. That was so nice. And it dries up so nicely. Look at that. Carburetor cleaner. Okay. This stuff, now really watch out with the carburetor cleaner, because it squirts and jets out at you. So spray a little on your towel. And again, don't get this everywhere on the painted surfaces or all of those other spots. You're going to have to clean this off, and it dries real quick. That's the reason this isn't my go-to, but it does work. And then you can just use soap and water to clean off any of the extra residue that's left behind. But it does work. And a lot of people have this. It's readily available. It's half the price of Goof Off. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know that. But I would assume that it's half the price of Goof Off. Or at least this brand was. The Goof Off we know is going to work. I'll tell you that right off the bat. The Goof Off definitely is going to work. If you're going to go get this, use this. This is great. I have this around, not just for tough projects, just because it works well. I know it's not going to damage certain things and will damage other things. I always wash everything when I'm done anyways. You should always wash it. Now, oil. This is where the suntan lotion and the oil come in. Suntan lotion. Suntan lotion is not going to hurt your paint or anything. This one I've noticed takes a little bit more elbow grease, and it leaves the oily base on your vehicle now. But other than that, it takes off the goo. It's taking off that grime from putting a nice polish on there. And a bonus, if you do this right and polish it right, it's kind of like a Rain-X for a little while. And the water will just repel. A whole nother video where I put this up against actual brand Rain-X. Alright, so there we go. That one is fully cleaned. I'm going to take some soap and water and a fresh towel and clean all that off and see how it looks. I think it looked way better before. But we're going to look. It looks like we missed a spot right here. But other than that, I don't see the Georgia peach. I see a little bit here and a little bit here. So we're just going to go clean it all up with Goof Off. Anything that was left on, that will definitely clear up for you. Now let's move on to something else. I'll clean this up later. All right, so now we're going to, so every single one of those ways work. Now I'm going to apply a little heat. Turn this on. And applying heat, you can use your hair dryer. That works really, really well. basically just softens the glue behind it, and then you can just peel it off, sometimes with your finger, sometimes not. Don't hold it in the same spot too long, but you can see it honestly just peels right up like that. But it does definitely leave the goo mark. And everybody pretty much has a hairdryer, right? Maybe you don't, but your lady friend does. And again, I should be doing this with a little bit of lubricant. I should put an oil on this while I'm doing this, just that way there's a lubricant going on. And you see, so we'll do a little bit of that action for you. Because I'm dry, I'm doing this dry, and while I don't care about the scratches essentially, I do still care about the scratches. So we're just gonna take some regular old, this is olive oil, but veggie oil, whatever is gonna work. We're just gonna put a couple drips on this, off the rest of the necklace. So I'll just lube up some of this here. Then we're gonna hit it with the heat gun again. I'm even using it on heat gun 1, or heat number 1. And just apply it for a second. And the glass gets warm, so it residually heats everything else up as well. And there it is. I still probably have enough on here that I could probably go up to and just do his face right now. I still probably have enough residual oil on here that I'm gonna go up and do his face as well right now. All right, so that's that. That's really easy. That's getting a lot of that sticker residue is off as well. A little oil, whatever you want. That's not gonna damage any of the paint or any really surfaces that you do this on. Besides wood. Don't use a razor blade on wood or plastic or sometimes metal like this, but don't just try it. You'll rip the paint up if you try to do this on this type of surface. So watch in a few minutes how we get the stickers off of that type of thing. Alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. It's going to clean off that oil, and it's going to clean off the sticker residue. You should have it in your medical cabinet. Just don't sit there and spray a bunch. I see people put it in spray bottles, and the reason I don't put it in the spray bottle is because you have overspray. You're going to spray it on everything else, and if you don't go and clean this afterwards, which a lot of people aren't, you're just going to go up here and get this done, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't get it anywhere. Well, if you did spray it, you probably got it on your outer coating, and it's going to eat at the clear coat on your automobile or on other things like that, like your dryer, stuff like that. So clean it afterwards. Boom, gone. This is what we're going to do, just water, soap. Water and soap. This is just water and soap. Pure water and soap. Look at that. Goodbye. And a razor blade. Okay? But be careful. I told you, don't do that scratching thing, and make sure you have a lubricant. But that just gets rid of the decal. Remember. We got to get rid of the goo. Use one of those other products. Let's use something different. Let's get the suntan lotion back out. See? Look at that. Nothing there. Nothing there. So now I'm just going to go back to this good old sun spray. This gooey stuff. I don't want to have to worry about getting too detailed on cleaning this. So I'm just going to spray the window. It's not going to hurt my paint. Watch it just go away before your eyes. I'm going to put a little more on there because that's a thick one. And you sometimes have to wait just a few seconds and then take your finger in there and start rubbing. And it breaks it right down. And that was a day at the beach. Day at the beach, get it? Suntan lotion. Day at the beach. Look at that, we're just polishing it right away. But after this, obviously you're gonna have to clean it off. So we are gonna go back and use the isopropyl alcohol to clean it. So I would recommend using the isopropyl alcohol in the first place, but you don't have to. You can see I flipped the rag over and now I'm buffing it out a little more. And just for the purpose of the video, I will get it all off of there. And then you'll see I do have some residue from the other sticker, but this sticker, there's a little left right there. Okay, that looks really good. There's a little more. But that really does take a lot more elbow grease than taking a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Again, putting it on there. And now it is gone. Now what I really don't know, and the tester would be to put up isopropyl alcohol versus, and again, this is a 70%, but you can water it down. But the real test would be to put up isopropyl alcohol against the Goof Off, because I think these are my two main products that I would go for. And the razor blade. Obviously, you always need the razor blade, but these two products, you don't always need the razor blade. But these two products are my go-to. I would have to put these two up against each other to really figure out which one is best. And later on in the video, you're going to see which one I actually choose because of what you can use them on, what you can't use them on, and so on and so forth. But you'll find out later. All right, so you can use any of these different products. We're going to take them inside the house now and use them. But any of these different products, get the sticker residue off and do a really good job at it. What's going on, guys? So now we're inside the house and we're at the dryer. But we're going to do this in a second video. That video should be right here somewhere or coming out soon. And hit the notification bell for when that one comes out or any other videos come out that we have. But for now, part 2 is tiles, dryer, or tiles, refrigerator and dryer, bathtub, glass surfaces inside. Well, they're basically like the outside surfaces, but we're going to do that in a part 2 video. I know I said I was going to do it in the part 1 video in the beginning, but it just became lengthy. So we're going to do that in part 2. Just look for part 2, cleaning in the house, getting the smudge, getting the sticker residue, or something like that. You'll see it.